Hello, I'm B.J. Worthington, Director of Schools in the Clarkson-Montgomery County School System. I hope you can take a few moments to see some of the great work that we're doing. I believe I'm the Director of Schools for the best school system in the state of Tennessee. None of this comes about without hard work, dedication, and commitment. Something that makes our district very unique is that we develop a strategic work plan. We use that strategic work plan to guide the work that takes place from our level at the senior leadership level all the way down into what takes place inside of each of the classrooms, with the ultimate goal of 100% of our students graduating college or career ready. We determine that strategic work plan by getting input from a number and a variety of sources. We gather input from parents, we gather input from teachers, from principals, from various community members, and also we have to pay attention to what's taking place at the state and national level in terms of education. So we put them into 4 different categories: improving student achievement, which is the baseline for everything that we do inside of our school system; improving efficiency and effectiveness for our district; engaging the public in support of student achievement; and also maximizing employee capacity. From the input that we gather from the various venues, what each department head will be responsible for doing is taking that information and putting it into a strategic work plan for their department. And then they will prioritize the work that has to be done within their department. And then not only that, but we bring it back to the senior leadership team and we talk about that and how that could maximize our ultimate goal, which is to make sure that all of our students are reaching their potential. The annual strategic work plan is checked and monitored, obviously within the senior leadership team, but at the same time we're monitoring it by giving board reports and getting principal feedback at our mid-year review. In addition to that, we have key performance indicators that are done on an annual basis, which we make sure that we're hitting the goals that we should be doing, and if we're not hitting those goals, what can we be doing to make sure that those goals are achieved?
Improving student achievement is what we should all be about. Our kids come to us, our families come to us with the expectation that their students are going to learn and grow at least a year in education, and so it's incumbent upon us to apply the practice, assess kids in a way, design lessons in a way in which we meet their individual needs and grow them more than a year academically. And so it's vital in this community to prepare our students, and the best way to do that is to focus on them in the area of instruction and improving student achievement. Student intervention can mean a variety of things, really. What you're trying to do is meet the student where they are and move them forward. So student intervention could be inclusion class. Can we improve the fidelity and the quality in which we design instruction and apply instruction in our special ed inclusion classes? So we focused a lot of time this summer with some of our special ed assistants to get them to a level where they could be better at applying accommodations for special ed students within the classroom in the areas of inclusion. Another area could be a high achieving student. It could be ACT prep. And so in all our high schools we have ACT prep. And in ACT prep they take a pre-assessment as a junior as to where they are in those 4 core areas of ACT preparation, and then we move them along, we move them forward, and then they post-assess. So it's a whole process of assessment, instruction delivery, and then post-assessment, and in order to improve their scores. When you improve ACT scores, you provide opportunities for students. And the good news is we've seen over the past 2 years our ACT scores steadily improve. The excitement of Common Core is around it's a common curriculum. Hence Common Core in the 4 subject areas, but really around English, language, arts, and math. And in English, language, arts, those standards are fewer, but they're deeper, and they're more rigorous, and they're more relevant. We're focusing on things like the complexity of the text, introducing students to more complex texts, more informational reading, and less just literacy or literature. It provides an opportunity for students to be exposed to a higher degree of informational text and then use that text to write. So it's a whole another level of complexity as far as what we're asking students to do. In the area of math, what we're asking students to do is really understand math in a conceptual way. So they're asked constructed response questions, which means they need to take a word problem and they need to construct their response. They're really putting their thoughts and their ideas about how to solve that problem on paper in a variety of ways. So it's really challenges. As teachers, we need to know our content very well, and then we need to assess in ways in which the students will be assessed. And then we need to create meaningful tasks for them to do within the classroom that align with that assessment. As far as our community goes in our state, we implement Common Core with fidelity, and our teachers grow in the knowledge and understanding and teaching of Common Core. We are going to position our students to be able to handle very rigorous curriculum. It is a very rigorous curriculum, and if they can perform well on this curriculum, they will be college and career ready. From this past summer, the parking lot was full every day with teachers being trained in the Common Core focus standards. And so what the state has done is identified focus standards in which to start the implementation that align with our current curriculum. And they're being trained in assessment strategies, in content delivery, and instructional strategies in which to implement the focus standards. There's been training kindergarten through 12th grade. We involve ELL teachers in the training. We involve special ed teachers in the training. So it's a comprehensive approach to be ready for 14-15. The purpose of STEM is to integrate math and science where they fit in the curriculum around the engineering design process. So it's very important for students to have opportunities to have inquiry-based instruction where they're guiding some of their learning. And STEM provides them an opportunity to do that along a real-life relevant challenge. So the science and math teachers get together and they find out where the curriculum matches. And then they design challenges, real-life challenges, that will allow students to interact with those challenges and discover solutions to those challenges. And they do that based on the stated curriculum. As far as expanding STEM integration, this year, high school has STEM in Algebra 1, in physical science and or physical world concepts, depending on what they teach in the 9th grade. Middle school has expanded. The STEM integration started in 8th grade last year, is now in 7th grade. In elementary school, they're in their 2nd grade level of STEM implementation. They've identified the grade levels they wanted to start with. All elementary schools are now in the process of implementing STEM in 2 grade levels. I think in Clarksville, Montgomery County, we're blessed to have a community that supports our schools. And in turn, the community, I think, is very excited about the product we're delivering. And the product we're delivering is a commitment to improve student achievement, no matter where students are, to move them forward, to continue to do the work that it takes to move students to a higher level, to be college and career ready. When you have exceptional public schools, then you have exceptional communities.
Our strategic work for students really is focused on always looking at the latest and greatest technologies that are out there, trying to identify which technologies will benefit our school district and our current situation the most. As a leader in technology in this school district, I'm confident that we've prepared a path that's really out on the forefront of what school districts are doing. Quite often we find that when we're looking at school districts, we have to look for that golden nugget that other districts that have done better than us. Most of the time we find that we are actually out on the leading edge of where other school districts are. And it's a benefit for our students. It puts them in a situation that allows them to have some of the more advanced technologies, whether it's wireless, whether it's a computer that's available through mobile labs, or whether it's a teacher who always has access to technology in their classroom, to be innovative within their teaching styles.
The objective behind maximizing employee capacity is to make sure that we have quality individuals in every position within the school system. Our ultimate goal is that we have in front of every student a quality teacher. Our ultimate goal is that we have great leadership inside of our buildings. And it's up to us to make sure that we provide those opportunities for those individuals throughout our district so that our district will make sure that we graduate 100% of our students college or career ready.
The district's committed to having all administrators, assistant principals, principals go through McREL leadership training. And basically what McREL leadership training says is that leadership makes a difference. That teachers that perceive their leader to be strong, we have up to a 10 percentile student achievement gain. So the next part of that development that we've been working with principals on is to bring them in the summer, have them look at all their data, and come up with areas of focus for their schools. So we took those areas of focus and we made small professional learning communities with 3 to 4 principals in each group with like grade levels that they serve. And what they do is they share leadership practice, they share school-wide practice around McCrell's basic components. It aligns the leaders based on their data and their area of focus. So it might be that one school is really focused on 7th grade special ed students. So if that's what the data says, then we'll put 3 of those schools together and they'll share leadership practice and school-wide practice and go into the school and look at examples of that practice so that they can expand their own practice. So the whole concept is that more than one brain looking at something can yield greater results. And leadership is so essential, and knowing the best practices in which to motivate and develop adults is essential in moving a school.
Within the Human Resources Department, one of the things that we look at is our current employees and the employees that we're trying to recruit as an investment to the district. So we're always out there looking for new hires. There is a nationwide shortage of chemistry, science, math teachers, so we are having to be very competitive with other districts within our state and within bordering states. But this last year we recruited teachers from 27 different states, and we're hoping to do the same and possibly more for next year. We brought in over 250 new teachers last year, and this year we're looking at attending even more career fairs, and we're also working on building the relationships between the professors and some of the department heads at the different universities so that we have an idea of which students have which type of endorsements that we need for our district. It is so important that we have quality employees that are student-centered. That's one of our biggest focuses, and that ties right back to student achievement. There's so much data out there that reflects the importance of a teacher in a classroom and the effect that has on a child's learning each year. And sometimes we're able to find those folks right here in our backyard, and sometimes we have to go out and search further. We want to ensure that we have the best candidate that we bring into this district because of the investment that we place into that employee. We have a lot of staff development, we have a variety of different things that we provide to those employees, so it's so important that they are the very best, and it affects student achievement. That's the biggest thing. It affects student achievement, so we want the very best. We're currently reviewing our administrator pay schedule that we have in place. This pay schedule has approximately 126 different grades. It's a very complex pay schedule, and it's not very transparent. People really don't understand how to read the pay schedule. So we get a lot of questions from our own employees, and then we also get questions from applicants on trying to understand the longevity and what their opportunities are with that pay schedule. So we're currently in the process of working with a consultant. They're a compensation talent management consulting group to help us simplify this pay schedule. So we're looking at other districts' pay schedules, and it's not an effort to increase pay, but it's an effort to simplify the pay schedule so that when you're looking at it, you can understand where you would fall in that pay schedule and what your potential career financial opportunities are within the district. We realized last year that with the emphasis on the new teachers evaluation tool that was introduced by the state, that we were not consistent in all of our evaluation tools. So we determined last year to focus on our classified middle management evaluation tool, and the goal here is to make sure that those positions are being evaluated in connection to their job description and also in connection to the vision and mission of the district. So we've been working on piloting a new evaluation tool, and we hope to have that all completed so that next school year, the 2013-2014, all classified middle management positions will be evaluated using this tool. I think this is going to allow middle managers to focus on the most important things within their job to ensure that they're meeting their goals. And also I think that employees need to know how they're doing, and they also sometimes need a formal way of being recognized for their excellent work.
Under improving efficiency and effectiveness, one of the highlights of this district that makes us unique is that we're one of 10 districts in the nation that is ISO certified. That certification lets people know that we are effective and efficient, but what it lets us do as a district is to analyze what goes on a daily basis, to look at those questions that come up, the processes that we have that aren't working as efficiently as they should, and puts in place ways that we can address those. We address them through continuous improvement committees. They look at survey information, they look at feedback that they're gathering on a daily basis, and they're trying to make sure that we're making this district more efficient and more effective.
One of the big things this year was to implement resource management software. And that was a piece of software that gets added to every computer, and then a server back here at the district is capable of tracking that piece of equipment. A lot of advantages for us in regards to that. The first one is obvious. We can push software to a computer, or we can remove software from a computer. Instead of sending technicians out to touch each and every computer, we're actually capable of pulling that software directly from here and moving it to other computers that have been identified to appropriately have that software. The other great advantage is it keeps track of those units. We're utilizing that as an asset management tool right now, which has been very valuable for the district. When you have 300 to 500 or even 600 computers in a school, and a resource management person has to go out and track each of those devices and locate each of those devices, it becomes very time consuming. But when those devices have been online and can actually report to us that they exist and where they exist and when they existed, it makes it very easy for us to be able to provide that information to the resource management individual, and they no longer have to look for that piece of equipment, and it shortens the time in which they have to do their work. From a student standpoint, it's incredible to be able to know that you've provided the latest and greatest to students in an efficient manner, that they have the tools necessary to perform the tasks that they need, that we can quickly deploy software in a way that allows them to get it more effectively.
Well, the building assessment program is intended to allow us to deepen our knowledge of all of the facilities of the district. We know that the taxpayers have invested over $750 million in this public school system, and it's our responsibility to have a deep understanding of all of those buildings so we can ensure that we apply the right capital projects and understand exactly the maintenance needs of the building so we can extend the lives of those buildings for as long as possible. Extending the life of the building, I think Montgomery Central is really a great example of that. The original building was built in the 1960s, and because of proper maintenance throughout the years and then a nice $20 million renovation and investment, that entire building's life expectancy has now been extended for another 40 or 50 years, easily another 40 or 50 years, that we'll be able to educate children in that facility. It's a great example of what a program like this is intended to allow us to do.
We had Advance Ed come out last year, our accrediting agency, and they labeled us highly functional in many areas. And one of the areas was in our stakeholder feedback and our communication area. And we believe we're pretty good in that area, but I think we've got many communication groups that we've listened to for many years. But I don't know that it's always risen to the level of senior leadership with the feedback. And so we are very committed this year to make sure that the feedback that these communication groups are giving us rise to the level, the trends rise to the level of senior leadership, so that we can look at improvement committees in which to look at very specific areas in this district that may need some tweaking, that we may need to refine, that we may need to look at in ways in which it'll make our district more efficient, or more productive, or more responsive to the stakeholders as a whole. So that's the focus of that goal. It's an area that, again, we've been deemed highly functional, but we're pushing ourselves to get to another level with that.
Engaging the public in support of student achievement is a key factor in the success of any school district or any school. Everybody in this community plays a role. And as they play a role, whatever it may be, they have an impact on a child's life once they step through our doors. Through the many engagement activities that we have taking place on an annual basis from our level or just at the school level, we're able to gather information to help us be a better school system. But also we're able to look at ways in which parents and other community support leaders can help us to make sure that we do have opportunities for our students. From the business leader to the governmental leader to the parent, we need your involvement because we need you to support our students.
Last year, we had our accreditation audit from Advanced Ed. The only finding that they came back with is that this school system does not share its story of success enough with the community. Communications is critical to sharing that story. It's not just the Department of Communications in the school system, it's every single staff member, every parent, every child, it's everyone sharing the story of the successes of Clarksville-Montgomery County school system, its staff and its students. As we engage the public in support of student achievement, we have identified 2 items on our list this year. One is to conduct a communications audit, and the other is to look at expanding our online tools. We know that our public is more tech savvy than they've ever been before, and the demand is there for online access and information. There's a number of things that we're doing right now that have allowed us to expand our online tools. Of course, we've had Power School in place, but we want more parents to use Power School to access student information and be more involved in their students' educational progress. With School Messenger, that's our telephone notification system that everyone's pretty familiar with, because that's what we use to notify of school closings or delays or early closings. So that's something that people are used to, but what we're going to be doing is expanding what parents can do with School Messenger, and that is to be able to get on and manage how they want to receive notifications, if they prefer to receive a text message, if they prefer a certain phone number for certain messages. So we're going to pilot that this spring with Glen Elementary School, and then hope to implement that system-wide next year. But we want to try it out and see how parents, what questions they have, and be able to give them more access and more control over the information they receive. We've really expanded in social media. Of course, we have a Twitter account, we have a Facebook account, and I've really seen a lot of activity, especially when we have snow days. But it's been great having conversations with parents and students on there. It's a very open forum, as social media often is, and it gives just one more way for parents and students to interact with the school district. They can ask questions and we respond. We also post videos up there through our Focus TV, and that's another great online tool for the community to be aware of what's going on in the school system. We want to receive communication from our community, but we also want to share what the stories of CMCSS are. Our school system has been recognized nationally for its transparency, and that is the availability of information on our website. Pretty much everything's right there. We've gotten great reviews about our website, and just recently received a Sunshine recognition, that being the Sunshine Law of how transparent government agencies are. Pretty much everything that you want to know about the school district is on our website, so it's very transparent and very easy to access. At the same time, we recognize that there is still a digital divide. Not everyone has online access, so we have to balance our information sharing in ways that isn't just limited to being online. So we are still providing that information through media, through the telephone, because pretty much everyone does have a telephone, so we are able to use School Messenger in that venue. About 10 years ago, the National School Public Relations Association sent in a team to do a communications audit on our school system, and that was looking at all the different ways that our system communicates with its stakeholders. And it might be materials that we send out, it might be calendars, it might be the web, it might be telephone notifications. They brought in, 10 years ago, they brought in a lot of people to discuss what is the school district doing right and what can be improved. That was 10 years ago. They came back with some great recommendations, which we implemented then. 10 years later, a lot has changed in the communication world. So we felt like it was the right time to do another audit and ask our community, what are we doing right and where do we need to improve in our communications. So this year we did schedule a communications audit with INSPRA, and we had 2 different auditors come in. They are professional communicators who look at best practices across the country in school communications. And they have just finished their report, and we will be sharing that with the community. It's a 162-page report of great information that tells us what we're doing right and what we can do to improve our communications. I think the unsung hero of communications is the listening part. That communications is a two-way street. It's not all about presenting information to the community. It's about listening to what the community has to say. And we're really gleaning a lot of good feedback from our community and understanding what it is they need, what it is they want, and how we can best serve them.
As we look forward to next year and the development of the strategic work plan, obviously we're going to see the continued work of implementing the Common Core. That work will take place over the next couple of years. As you look at efficiency and effectiveness, what we're going to be looking for are energy savings, how we can become more energy efficient. Those will be one of the goals that will drive us. When we look at the role of maximizing employee capacity, we're always looking at ways that we can enhance our staff development, ways that we can improve our leadership opportunities for our faculties and our staffs. And I think those are the things that you're going to see taking place there. When we look at stakeholder engagement, our hope is that you're going to see us more involved reaching out into the community, going into the businesses and providing opportunities for parents who are at work there to learn more about the school system and ways they can stay engaged. Our intent behind developing a strategic work plan is that it helps us as a district to stay focused, to remain intentional about the work that needs to be done so that all of our students graduate college or career ready. We make sure that as we're developing that plan, it is a plan that has that ultimate goal in mind. And as we work that plan, we do make the adjustments that we need to on a daily basis or on an annual basis, but we never lose sight of what that goal is that all of our students have to be successful. When we look at the work that we've accomplished in prior years, we've seen that we've accomplished great things, and one of those is evidenced in our graduation rate. We've seen a great improvement in that. We've seen this district move forward. We've seen students graduate and have opportunities after they've left our district that they may never have had we not worked our strategic work plan. So when we look backwards, we learn from those mistakes, but we also learn from those successes, and we build on those successes to help us to become a more effective district. And that's what our plan is, to be the best in the state of Tennessee. In the fall, when I took the job of becoming Director of Schools, I met with all of our staff members across this district, and I talked about how we are a great school district, but how we have to take the next step to get better. I asked for their commitment to take the next step. In addition, I ask all parents to stay engaged in their child's education. It is extremely important because they do play such a vital role. Thank you for taking the time to listen to what's been taking place inside of the school district and also what's going to be taking place in the future. I want you to know that all of us come to work on a daily basis to make sure that all of our students are successful.